What's the biggest piece of advice you would give somebody thinking of taking on a large equity holder that owns the company, the 100% owner, and they're in your same shoes? What would you tell them?
Ian kept asking me, he kept being like, are you sure that you're someone who can have a partner? I was like, I don't know what you're judging me for. But I think you have to be able to let go, and you have to believe that they want, and you have to know, like, after you interview them and you say, okay, they want this as much as I do, because that they're going to work as hard as you are, and you have to let them catch up. I guess that, because that was big. It was like, like, I've been living this for 3 years. I know every acronym, and I have processes, especially for someone like me, like creative side. Like, if you asked me, like, my husband would be like, hey, do you know where all the kegs are? Like, who has them? And I'd be like, yeah. And he's like, where's the list? Because I just want to itemize things. And I'd be like, it's in my head. And, so then having to basically download all the processes, even just how to create a purchase order or how to create an invoice and all the little things. Yeah. There was no written instructions for how to do that. And so when they were messed up or there was a mistake, giving, not that person's a screw up, but being like, there's going to be like 3 months of stickiness where I think something should be assumed, but it's not.
It forced you to get your processes and policies and things like that written, in writing and so forth, which, by the way, as you already know, if there's ever some M&A or whatever, or somebody wants to buy you down the road, all that just makes you more valuable, right? It makes you more valuable.
Yeah. And that was the best. Like, we spent so many hours before he, started working, just going through like, okay, how does this day work? How does this work? So that he could understand it. And he's so much more like an Ian, process oriented, this versus that. Even like, hey, it was just the two of us. Hey, let's create an organizational chart. And I'm like, you, me, put all the jobs. And he's like, no, but like, let's do this. And we could put our names in all the spots. But if we grew this to be for 3 years, what is the organizational chart? And we'll start as we need them. We can take our names out and put in an employee. And I'm like, oh, you do that. I hate this. but I I like thinking about it because it does let you see that future a little better and more clearly. But it was very nice to be able to put that and be like, oh yeah, like, I guess these are all my jobs and it would be good to get rid of this one. And that's when we were able to bring back one of my production employees who I liked, who was trying to transition to the sales, and plug him in. And then now he knows who he reports to. And so there's process and there's not confusion of me just like sending someone 20 text messages and they have to figure it out.
I think you partnering with somebody that balances your skill set, and you guys can help each other on your strengths and weaknesses. I mean, that is a really great move. Great move.
It's great.
If you think today's tip or guest interview can help someone please share this with them. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. The Riderflex Podcast features entrepreneurs, business executives, and the stories behind how they got there, as well as daily tips on career advice and job interviewing. You can visit riderflex.com to learn more about us and get information and pricing on the recruiting and consulting services we provide. Thanks so much for listening, and have a great day.